Getting there. Okay, hello everybody. I'm so glad you're here today with me and with Nicole Holland. We are doing a Google Hangout interview. It's my first, so bear with me. There might be a few little glitches here as I am trying to juggle screens. It's a little, God, excuse me. I want to introduce our wonderful guest, and I have a bio to read, and now it's escapes my computer. So Nicole is being very patient here. Nicole is an awesome business coach. I'm just saying that as I stall for time here. Hang on one second. Ay. Okay, here we go. No, that's not the right one. Hang on one second, everybody. Yeah, this is note to self. Here we go. Oh yeah, I pressed the. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so today we have Nicole Holland. She's an awesome friend and colleague of mine, and she's a master coach who specializes in helping aspiring and newer entrepreneurs turn their passions into profit. She's known for supporting her clients in gaining clarity around the direction of their business in rapid fashion, removing hidden obstacles that have been holding them back from the success that they desire, and helping them increase their productivity and profitability as if by magic. Woohoo! I love magic in business. She's a whiz at helping entrepreneurs nail their packaging and promotion too. So if you have any questions about how you can turn up the dial on generating revenue, you're in the right place today. Nicole is excited to answer your questions and support you in getting your message out to the people who need you the most. All right. Welcome, Nicole. So great to have you today.
Thank you, Michelle. It's awesome to be here. I really appreciate you hosting this today, and looking forward to having a lot of fun with you.
Awesome. Okay, so now my question is I want to see if there is anyone online who has any questions to post in the chat box. And because I'm new to the chat box, I don't see it on my one screen. And I've got Kelly, my amazing virtual assistant, online as well, and I'm just going to ask her a question. Kelly, do you see anyone posting anything in the chat area? That's
not yet, Michelle.
Not yet. Okay. So I encourage you all to post questions in the chat. We have some questions already that Nicole has gathered, and I'm going to be asking some questions as well. So, Nicole, someone called Renee wants to know, is it even worth the time to develop a package?
Absolutely. Having a package is really vital. I'm guessing that she's a service provider. You know, anytime, I guess for us, I'm not sure who's on the line, but I think for us it's really important as coaches and as service providers to be able to not only be able to say, hey, I can help you as a coach, or I can help you, you know, do your videos. I think it's important also to say, here's how I can help you, and something that's really irresistible, and different levels as well. So the great thing about packaging is that you can help so many more people in so many different ways with your talents and with your expertise that you wouldn't necessarily be able to do if you just said, you know, okay, let's work one-on-one.
So tell me more what you are meaning by a package, because I think I thought I understood what you meant, but I just want to make sure we all are on the same page with what package means.
Sure, and it could mean different things to different people, so it's always good actually for me to ask for a little more clarity. But I guess what I'm saying is a package is more packaging. So, you know, yes, if you say, okay, I'm going to work with you one-on-one for 10 sessions, and here's the outcome, sure, that's a package.
Mm-hmm.
However, if that's the only package, then that's where we're leaving a lot of money on the table, because somebody might not be able to commit to one-on-one 10 sessions. And so by creating additional packages and services and products that we can put together, packaging, you can actually reach a lot more people. So you've got that main thing that you do, and then also you can come up with different smaller things where they get just a piece, or even do-it-yourself kind of programs where, you know, you're giving them your best stuff, but they aren't going to have your one-on-one support. And so just developing different levels of service is really important in being able to reach all of your people.
Right. So like packaging, you're talking about like home study kits and group programs and high-end group programs that involve some private work and or one-on-one VIP programs. You're talking about all of that as packaging. Is that
All
right?
of it. Membership sites, you name it, and it's so much fun because it's I think a lot of people, they get stuck in the overwhelmed feeling about, well, I don't know what to do, or there's only this, or there's only that, or I don't feel good about this, or I don't feel good about that. And the great thing about packaging is you can create whatever you want. You can be as creative as you want. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it takes an outside person, and that's what I really specialize in and I help people with. Because sometimes people get so caught up in their stuff. They know their stuff, and they feel like they have to give it all because you're not going to be able to understand if you don't get it all, and that one-on-one connection. And sometimes it takes somebody else, an outside person, to help you step back and go, okay, let's look at what it is you do and how you do it, and let's see how many different ways we can investigate offering it to different people who might be attracted to different things about it. And then we break that down, and we look at all the different possibilities until we narrow it down to find a sort of signature package, signature funnel. So you're going everything from, you know, a free or multiple free offerings to low-cost offerings, to middle-cost offerings, to higher-cost offerings, and as high as you want to go for the level of service and the level of results that you deliver. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so what you're saying is that there are infinite ways to go about when you packaging, and that packaging is essential to offer something concrete and something that people can understand what you're giving them, and it's got a goal in mind, and it's just it's far more efficient to have packages of your work, and as well as having your help to package in multiple different ways. It sounds like it's very customized to each person's needs and what they feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And actually, just as an example, I can tell you about my program, which is Business Basics Bootcamp, which is a 10-week group program. And what I've discovered is, number one, a lot of people find, again, it overwhelming to just the idea of creating a package or packages, because it just feels like so much work, and they don't know where to begin. And working one-on-one with a coach, it takes a lot, and there's a lot of things that, a lot of the basic stuff is really on the client. It's the coach who has to kind of show them the way, but it's the client that does the basic stuff behind. And so what I've figured out is the same stuff that I have to share with everybody for the basics, I've packaged together to do a 10-week program, so where you don't need my one-on-one for the beginning steps. We can go through it together, and then when it starts getting really client-centric, then I can give you that feedback, lots of interaction. And so I've combined the personal interaction with the group basics in Business Basics Bootcamp, to where my guarantee is we go from week 1 to week 10. If you put the work in, you got a package at the end that's saleable. So
that is pretty exciting, that in 10 weeks you can have a package. Totally. And what I understand also from the way you work in your group program is that you have this incredible workbook that people are working off of in those basics.
I call it a workbook, but it's not really a workbook. It's an online platform, and so my clients have 24/7 access to that. And within the back end of that, there's a forum where people can post questions and challenges and celebrations and everything anytime. I'm there, and so is everybody else. And then on top of that, they have what's called a workbook, which is where I pose the questions, and then they answer the questions, and then they get my personal feedback so that I can type in into their private area. So it's not on the forum where everybody can see. It's just very direct one-to-one where they're getting that individual attention, but it's over the web. So
that's very unusual. I think that's an incredible model, so that though it's a group program, they're still getting a lot of individual attention all the way through.
Definitely. Because it's, there's a lot that we can deliver. Again, those basic principles, we can deliver a lot of it as a group. So like the weekly live calls, Q&A and stuff like that, that's fine in a group, but when it comes down to working with an individual person and really understanding what their goals are and who they are and what the essence is that they want to bring to the table, there's no one size fits all. And without that personal one-on-one interaction and without being able to really investigate what they want, I can't help them produce the perfect product. Right? We can produce a product, but the point is we don't want to waste any time. 10 weeks is a short amount of time. It's very concise, and it's very focused on getting a product that is marketable, that it's viable, people want it, and it's really expressly you. So.
Wow, that sounds so awesome. And tell us again about the name of this program and when it starts and all this sort of thing.
It's Business Basics Bootcamp, and it was actually set to start this past Tuesday, but I've pushed it back a week because there have been quite a few questions. So it's going to start this coming Tuesday, April 7th. The live calls are at 6 p.m. Eastern weekly, so that's 3 p.m. Pacific, I guess. Yep. And they are all recorded, and so if it's not possible for somebody to make it, they have the recording in that back end where they can they can access all the material. And I've also got a few exciting guest experts, which of course you're one of them, who's going to come in and share about some of the fundamental things that we need to know in order to really launch our program, launch our business, launch whatever it is in a way that's going to suit us and also really get the word out. So there's a lot of noise a lot of times, right? Oh, you have to do this for marketing. You have to do that. You have to do that. The fact of the matter is, if you worry about all these things that everybody says you have to do, you don't do anything and you get stuck in inaction. And so we really want to, by bringing in some experts in different areas around marketing and also sharing my knowledge, we're going to really hone in on what is best for you. So each client is going to figure out, here's a taste, here's a taste, here's a taste. What strategy do I want to take with my product? So.
Great. Awesome. So there's a lot of learning going on and a lot of options that they get to learn about, and then you help them figure out what's going to be the best for them for their package.
Sure. Yeah.
That sounds exciting. You also had another common concern question that people say, I know that I need something, but I don't even know where to start. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we focus on in the first couple of weeks. So the program is actually broken down into 5 parts, and the first part is called Discovery, and that's where we're really, really, really getting clear on your big why and your big what. And then the how comes, but if we don't have the real vision on what the end result you want is, and it's not crystal clear, you're just wasting a lot of time often because you're just muddling around going, okay, well, let me make this product, or let me do this giveaway, or let me, try this out without really being focused. So that's the first part, is we really focus in on the big picture. And then I help my clients to figure out from there how over the next 6 weeks. And then what's really fun is the last 2 weeks is all about the launch. So where we do it together and you're not there on your own. So whether it's a really small product, whether it's a free product or it's a high-end product, it's all the same system. And once you get the system down, you can then do anything you want anytime. But a lot of times people feel like even though they know the system and even though they're capable, it's isolating a lot of times as a solopreneur to really get that out if you don't have strong partnerships. And so what's really neat about the program is that we do it all together. So everybody's doing it together, and there's a lot of momentum and excitement and support, and then you've got this community of people to go to and be like, hey, this happened, yay, or oh my gosh, this happened, I didn't understand, and can I get some feedback? So that's really, really, really important as well.
That's a huge, huge bonus. That's really awesome that you're including the value of that group community feeling. And I love that. That's fantastic. And what inspired you, Nicole, to create this program?
Oh, I guess just that I see so many amazing people with amazing gifts to share who limit access. So there's a lot of people that I might think, oh, I'd love to work with you, and yet I'm not interested in doing one-to-one long-term work with you. There's just a little bit that I know that I need from you that will put me to the next level, but just a little bit. I don't want it all, you know? And so that's with me too. I mean, there's a lot of work that I can do. There's a lot of transformational work that I could do. I could take, I could work with somebody for 1 year. We could do massive, massive things. However, not everybody needs that. Mm-hmm. And so I found that one of the struggles that a lot of coaches specifically and service professionals specifically have is really figuring out what can they do to get just a little bit of them out, still in integrity, where they feel like they can still support their big picture. I'm not sure if that makes much sense, but
absolutely. No, that's great. It's a wonderful opportunity to stay in action and not have to make a huge investment and get a ton of results from it, and have a community. I mean, there's so many bonuses that you're offering and benefits in this way of demystifying the whole packaging process and really taking wonderful steps to move forward.
Yeah, thanks. And like I said, the great thing is too, is it's such an easy system once you know what to do.
Ah.
So it's not like you become dependent on me. I'm not the end-all be-all. It's like I teach you the building blocks, and then you've got it. And you can always come back too, which is really neat about the program, is you always have that lifetime access to go back into the system and go back through the exercises. So if you do this 10-week program and you get your business or your product or your service or whatever it is that you're launching, you get it launched, you get it done. And then in 4 or 5 months, you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. Oh gosh, I don't remember, what did I do with this? You just go right back. You can listen again. You can go through the steps exactly as you want. Maybe some you don't need, some you do. So you just keep, it's like evergreen. You just keep going over and over and over as many times as you want.
Great. So you've created a system that's repeatable. That's just so exciting. And yet in your system you have room for different needs at different times. Like it's a very, it allows you to explore what your needs are each time and what your goals want to be for each package that you're creating.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's really the same system whether you're creating a free opt-in gift or whether you're creating a high-end year-long program.
Okay.
The principles are the same. The things you have to do are the same. The answers that you're going to get from yourself are different every time. And so, again, you just go back through those questions in the workbook, and you can go back through any of the learning material and plug in the new information to get the new outcome.
Right. Awesome. And so do you also, do people sometimes struggle with which kind of thing to do first? Is that somehow...
Absolutely. Have you ever struggled with that? I know I have.
Definitely, definitely. I would love to hear more of that from you, like how you help guide someone through that in your program, or just general guidelines right now. What do you have general guidelines for somebody who really doesn't know where to begin and what to start with, or are there certain things that are good to begin with in general, or?
Yeah. So there's 4 simple steps that I always say. 4 simple steps to turn your passion into profit. Mm-hmm. And it all boils down to this. And this is really what we deep dive into in the discovery portion of the Business Basics Bootcamp Program. So first of all, I think I'm getting see if I turn my volume down. Okay. First of all, you need to know what it is. You need to know what the vision is. You need to know what your bottom line is. So you have to get very clear on the big what, right? Very specific. And then the next thing is you need to uncover the obstacles that are getting in your way or potentially could, or do the opposite of the obstacles and look at what you would want instead. So that's where, for example, in choosing a business or choosing a product or service, I first look at, okay, what's the bottom line? What do we want to accomplish? Get really specific on that. What's the vision? And then the second question is, would it be fun? And would it be easy? Right? And so we want to make sure that it's aligned with what we want and not what we don't want. And then the third thing is really to investigate. And you do your research and you make sure that, okay, now you've got this beautiful idea, an exciting idea, and you know it's going to be fun and you know it's going to be easy, but now we need to make sure that people want it before we start spending time and money creating it. And so that's where you do your research, you do your market research. Also, if it's a new venture entirely, you might need to do research on licensing, on registration, all this other stuff. So the third part is the investigation. And then the fourth part is the action, really creating the action plan and implementing it. And those are the 4 basic steps, really, for anything in business as I see it. So
right. Awesome. But in terms of someone, who is this program most for, would you say?
I would say this program is most for practitioners, service practitioners who have a message, who aren't reaching enough people, and want to create opportunities to reach more people. Yeah, it's really, it's a very flexible system, and I've also had a number of artists come to me because they feel like they want to be artists, but they don't think they can make a living at art, so they go and they do a job instead, which isn't fulfilling, and they're doing their art as a hobby, and there's all this stuff in the way. And so I've had a lot of creative people, a lot of artists and photographers and creatives come to me and ask, okay, well, how can you help me with this? And it's the same thing. So whether you're somebody, and I have actually a lady in the program who is a retired educational assistant from the school system. She worked with behaviorally challenged kids in the high school for over 20 years, and she retired, and she doesn't want a job. She doesn't want something that's going to take up all her time, but she wants something that's fun and easy, and that she can also make a little extra income with. So it's really versatile. It's hard to narrow it down, to be completely honest with you.
No, I think it's, can you hear me as well?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I think. I can hear you, yeah.
I think I'm hearing myself in a weird way, so I don't know if I did something.
I actually had to turn my volume down in order not to hear the echo.
Oh, there's an echo? Okay. So that's what I love about what you're offering, is it's actually quite broad for different kinds of people can get business basics and learn packaging, ways that they might never have thought of that they could package themselves. Like people who are, as you said, maybe it's just a side business, maybe it's their first time, maybe it's people who've already been in business for 3 years. I mean, there's a whole range of people that you're able to help.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you also feel is unique to your program that would entice someone to join?
To be completely honest, it's hard to say what's unique to my program in comparison to other programs that might do the same thing because I haven't taken them.
Right.
But what I will say is unique to my style of working with people in a group, which is very different than anything I've experienced so far in groups that I've been in, is that really client-centric focus. Like you mentioned about the workbook, getting that one-on-one attention from me, even though you're in a group setting, that's something that I think is quite valuable. And yeah, you just get a lot of that feedback, a lot of that interaction, and a lot of my one-on-one connection, even though we're not working one-on-one. And then again, there's the group, and a lot of group programs do have the group aspect. So I guess that's not too different. I do it in a way that is a private back-end forum, opposed to, I think a lot of programs these days are using Facebook, which is great, and you've got that social media component, and that's something that I encourage my clients to do after the fact, really to do that networking. But it's nice to have that private space where you don't have to worry about Big Brother seeing what you're posting, and you don't have to worry about things accidentally getting, somebody tagged or anything like that. And you can really be open and honest within the group.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm wondering also what you think are sort of the easiest introductory kinds of packages that people need to learn about.
I love that you asked that, and at the same time, I have no answer.
Huh?
I think, if you look around at any of the gurus or any of the experts, they tell you there is something. It's this, it's that, everybody's got their thing, and I just don't work that way. I don't believe that there's a one-size-fits-all. I really believe that in order to know what's best for you or for me or for anybody is really to understand what they want to accomplish and who they are and how they operate. Mm-hmm. Because I can't personally, I can't do a system myself well if it's not something that feels good for me. And so programs, packages, it all is so individualized.
Okay. How about sharing some of the, can you give some examples of some kinds of packages that are easier or more introductory for somebody to start getting used to? Because I think there might be some people who don't even grasp the concept of what's possible. Like, if you could just give a few examples that...
Sure. Okay, so first of all, I believe that if the package is right, it's always easy. Doesn't matter how complex it is or how simple it is.
Interesting. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it could be something such, simple like, well, it depends on what's simple for you. Like, Michelle, you're an expert in video. So I would say for you, utilizing video as your service delivery method would be really simple. Whereas if I told you, okay, so I want you to write, 4 pages for little booklets for each topic, that might not be as easy and fun for you because you're a video person. Whereas somebody who's not a video person and who has massive anxiety around getting on camera, aside from them needing to talk to you and get your help, they wouldn't want to do video as their service delivery, right?
Right.
So it's really about figuring out what model, what way of delivering the material is a best fit, and then from there, what the topic of the material is. How many topics do you want to cover? How do you want to serve your people? Some people, I love going online and checking in on the workbooks. It's fun for me. I can see when the people logged in last. I can see when the people have submitted things for me to review. I can give them my feedback and we can interact like that. I have a lot of fun. I love that. A lot of people would want to pull their hair out because they're not big on using the computer, right? They would rather do phone sessions maybe, or just give the material and not have that interaction. So it's just, again, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to answer because it's just so individualized.
Yeah, no, I'm really getting that. When you brought in the whole service delivery piece, that's a whole other thing that I wasn't thinking of. There's so many components that make it so customized for each person what to start with. But I did hear you say that a free gift on your website would be considered a package.
Definitely. It's part of a package. It's part of the packaging, right? It's an introduction. Okay. And figuring out what that free gift is part of the process. Because a lot of people will say, okay, well, you got to do an ebook. A lot of people don't read ebooks. People go, okay, I'll opt in, it sounds interesting, and it goes into the virtual shelf, and they never read it. So are you engaging your audience with that? Who knows, right? So it's really about finding how you want to engage your audience, what you want to engage them about, and then building that stream from the entry all the way up to the high end. And then, well, for example, within the Business Basics Bootcamp, we get that big picture, and then we figure out where along the line do we want to go. So Great. Some people, they love infographics. Those are really, really hot right now. Yeah,
Okay.
and so a lot of people, though, they're like, I don't know how to do that. Well, that's pretty, but I can't do that. So I teach
Right.
them how to do it. I help them create it. For me, it's really easy and it's really fun. For somebody else, it might make them, want to go vomit. So it just, it could be so many different things: an article, a video, a 4-video series of on a specific topic. It's just, again, my work that I do is so specific to the individual that I'm working with
Right.
that I guess that's how I'm really different from most. That my program is kind of the anti-program. It's there is no one answer, there is no right answer. Let's get to know you, let's get in there, figure out what's best for you, and then create it. And we can do that in 10 weeks.
That's pretty darn awesome.
Thanks.
So I'm seeing that Angelica said, awesome girls, enjoying this ton. So I got that comment. And I just want to ask everyone again, if you've got any questions, please post them in that chat area.
Maybe if you have a question about your specific situation, I can give you some feedback on that.
Exactly. This is an incredible opportunity to get some specific coaching or information about your specific situation. So I'm going to wait to see if anyone, I know my chat tool isn't working exactly the way it should, but I do see that people can post comments. So in the meantime, for anyone to take some time and write anything down, I thought maybe, did you want to talk more about how to access the program, or any action you'd love to offer people to find out more about the program?
Sure. So there's a couple things. Number one, if you're just being introduced to this program and you don't really get what I'm talking about, I'd encourage you to set up a session with me, and we can talk one-on-one about whatever your stuff is. And I don't have the link in mind for that. So can you email that after? I'll get you the link to set up a private session with me for free, complimentary consult.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then, but if you want to see more about what the program is, you can go to www.just10weeks.com, and you'll see the package information right there.
Awesome.
And
Great.
actually, from just10weeks.com, if you should be able to go to, letnicolehelp.com. There's a contact form on the front page, on the home page. If you want to get in touch with me and you want to have a complimentary consultation, just shoot me a message and let me know that you were in this hangout, and I'll get in touch with you.
Great. This is an awesome opportunity. If any of you have more questions and are not feeling sort of clear about it, even asking it right now, Nicole is completely open to having a one-on-one conversation, which is pretty incredible. I'm wondering if you have people who have such struggle with being seen as an entrepreneur that they just go into this fog about actually following through and creating something concrete that's totally marketable. Do you have that sort of person sometime that you deal with? Have you ever worked with that sort of person?
I have to say I don't work with that person now, because I'm really focused on working with people who are committed and who want fast results, and who are they may have been that person, but they're done being that person. So this is literally like a boot camp where I'm going to kick you in the butt and I'm going to get you moving. We're going to get results. But that's a really common thing for a lot of startup entrepreneurs, that they start with this great idea and then it's scary. And what's more scary sometimes than failing is succeeding, right? And being seen as that CEO and going, oh my gosh, well, what do I do with this, or what do I do with that? And actually, thank you for asking. That's one of the things that we do cover in Business Basics Bootcamp as well. Very briefly, we go through those basic things that you need to know to be that CEO, right? I have a guest expert coming in to talk about finances and how to set up your bookkeeping and your taxes and all those things, where people go, well, it's not scary when I'm not making money, but oh my gosh, if I start making money, then what do I do with it? How do I protect myself? What do I invest in? And I want to be in compliance and all this stuff. So it's one of the things that we do cover briefly, just to make sure that you've got those foundational pieces Because if you don't have the solid foundation, just like when you're building a house, if the foundation isn't there and it's not solid, you can't keep building up or it's going to topple over.
That is so true, and I think that is such an amazing thing that you're including this in this program. Like, that's how comprehensive your program is that you would even address these sort of not so sexy foundational pieces that people just tend to want to just skip over. I know I didn't address certain things for a few years, and it doesn't make you feel very stable when you don't have these foundational pieces involved.
Absolutely.
That's really, really awesome. I am not seeing any more questions. Is there anything, Nicole, you would like to share that we haven't covered yet? I'm sure there's a ton we haven't covered.
Well, I was really, you know, what I love to do is to give people specific tips and tools that they can use and they can start implementing right away. I will say that for the program, if they're interested, the program is $1,197. Like I said, it is a 10-week program, and you'll get a product by the end. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you get in and then you realize, you know, this isn't right for me, no problem. You get your investment back. And because you're hosting this, if anybody is interested in signing up, I'm giving a $300 discount coupon if they just type in Michelle. No, I'm sorry. What did I make a coupon? MWH. Yeah, because Michelle was a little too long. Okay, so MWH is the coupon code that they'll get $300 off. So then the investment is only $897.
Wow.
And, yeah, and there's also some bonuses too. I'll mention the 10 weeks is, you know, it's that really vital piece, and we're going to do a lot of work. But after the 10 weeks, I don't want people to flounder. I don't want people to be like, okay, now what? So I'm including my Business Blueprint Builder program, which is an online program that is completely self-directed, and that will help you create a 90-day plan. It walks you through the steps to create a 90-day blueprint that you can do again, and again, right? So every 90 days you can come back, redo it, so that you always have that system in place. You create your product, you do your blueprint, you're good to go. And the other supportive things that I'm including are our mentors, Charla and Jesse from Thrive Academy, who are amazing and who are really the queen and king of client attraction. They've agreed to allow me to offer a scholarship to their Client Attraction Summit as one of the bonuses in this program. So once you have your program or your product or your system or what it is that you want to that we're launching, and you have your 90-day plan, you also want to become more attractive to your ideal clients, and so that's where they can help you with that. And one of my other mentors, who's amazing, and she's world-renowned for being a mindset master, Gina Gabellini wrote a book called The Art of Practice, and so she has also, excuse me, my nose is so itchy, graciously allowed me to offer her book as a gift for anybody who joins the program as and that's something you can dive into immediately. It's all about how our habits go to serve us and how our habits take away. And so that's something you can dive right into to get the right mindset to get started. So
fantastic.
I'm not sure if you can see Anderson. He decided to join the conversation.
So good to see him. And I will be offering, right? I'm one of your bonuses.
Yes. Do you want to talk about that? Because I'm really excited. That's anybody who comes from this hangout or from Michelle's community is going to get a really special bonus too.
That's correct. I will be offering my video how-to program from beginning to end, material that I have never shared with publicly, that I only share with my clients, is going to be in a home study kit. And that's normally $297, and it's going to be free for anyone who dives into this program with Nicole, which is an amazing extra bonus. And I will be also guest lecturing for you as well.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So I'm really excited about that too.
For the marketing part, yeah, we're going to have an expert panel.
Oh yeah, you've got a panel. Tell us about the panel.
Yeah, so we're going to have people who are experts in different areas. So Michelle, obviously video, and we've got social media, different types of social media, so that again, you can learn a little bit about all these different ways of marketing and then figure out what you want to focus on, that thing that you're going to really target in your launch. So
Fantastic. Super comprehensive, and having that bonus of the client attraction to add to the toolkit. I mean, you're basically offering this incredible business group program for under $1,000, which is unheard of, seeing as how all the programs I've ever joined have been like $7,000 minimum.
yeah.
So, and having this clear focus of a package that you offer by the end is just so incredible. And no matter where people are at on the scale of their business, they can benefit by going to their next level, I take it.
Absolutely. So even if you haven't even started your business, if you're thinking about, okay, I'd like to start my business, this is for you, because we can take that idea, make sure it's viable. Again, it's no risk, because within 30 days, it's not for you, you quit, and I give you your money back. But you know, if you're a stay-at-home mom, for example, and you're like, I'd like to put some extra money into the kids' college fund, or I'd like to put some money beside for a holiday, but I don't have, I can't go get a job, I'm a stay-at-home mom and I love what I do, we can really work on what you can actually do to bring in a side income, to create that side business, just as well as we can work with somebody who's already been in business for quite some time and they've got a solid foundation and they've got plenty of business, and yet they want to take it to the next level. We can look at what they can add that's going to complement their offerings. So it really is, it doesn't depend on where you're at, it just depends on if you're committed. And if you're committed and you're willing to put in the work, and I would say, to be completely honest, you know, let's make sure that the people who are coming in are really prepared and really committed. You're going to want to have about 8 hours a week to do the work. So it's not something that, you know, there's no quick fix, there's no magic wand, there's no fast, get rich fast, right? It's something that takes work, and if you're able to commit about 8 hours a week, I'd say that that is a solid investment of your time and energy, and you're willing to put in and follow the steps. Yeah, 10 weeks you'll have something, whether it's the first thing that you're ever going to have or the 50th thing.
Wow, so 8 hours a week, that's great to know that in advance, and that's pretty, it's not actually too much and it's not too little. It feels like enough to get you really excited and get you feeling like you're in momentum and motion.
Yeah, and it's something that's doable. If you're working a full-time job and you're trying to do this at night to really start your business, and you've been thinking about it or doing activities that aren't working for you for the last year or however long, you know, let's get this done.
Right.
You
Okay.
put in the time, you get it done, you knock it out, and you have a product, you have a package, you have a business. So.
And then there's one other thing that we didn't talk about, was that you were going to talk about how to save money by avoiding the 3 most costly mistakes most people make when they first go into business.
Oh, yes. Was I? Yes, that was suggested last night, and I really haven't given that any thought, to be honest with you. So I guess, what are the 3 most costly mistakes? I would say the number 1 most costly mistake that people make when they go into business is just not committing to themselves, not committing to their outcome that they want. Lots of talk, little action. That's one major mistake people make. Oh, this is easier than I thought. Okay, another one is is that trial and error piece. Like, we waste so much time. I know I'm guilty of that many times over. I've had many, many businesses, and even though I know better, I still fall into it. Just that trying things out, having an idea that we don't actually do all the foundational work on, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. It usually doesn't. Every once in a while it proves to be profitable, but overall it doesn't. So just, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Get something that works, rather than just trying to figure it out on your own. And, oh, there's so much more I could say about that one. So, yeah, trial and error, ideas without action, and, God, there's so many. One would be reliance on your family and friends. That's one of the things I write about in my ebook, the 6 secret pitfalls that all successful entrepreneurs make starting out, but nobody talks about. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Is that a lot of entrepreneurs, when they get started, they think they're going to have this great support in their friends and in their family, and most people are really disappointed that it just doesn't work that way, because your friends and your family, they don't see you in the way that you see yourself as this CEO of the next big thing. They see you as, the kid with snotty nose, or they see you in the way that they've known you for all the years that they've known you. And so it's sometimes really hard to get support, which is also one of the things, like I said, that I built into Business Basics Bootcamp. And that's why, because that's something that's really discouraging to a lot of entrepreneurs, is not having the support that they really need and that they desire in order to really help them soar.
And so a program like this is the perfect antidote.
Definitely. Definitely. Of course it is. I love it. Honestly, I'm so excited about it. Again, it's, these are things that I've worked with people on one-on-one, and they're things that I keep seeing over and over again. And within our community, I hear a lot about people having struggles in these areas, and that's where it really came to me that, why don't I teach this group program? Because it's not hard. You just don't know what you don't know, right? And when you can have it presented in a way that's fun and easy, and it's just step by step, it's like you get all this confidence. You're like, wow, that wasn't hard at all. Let me do it again. So.
Right. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you make it feel really fun and really doable and really exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my big thing is, why do it if it's not fun? If it's not fun, if it's work, if it's stressful, it's not worth it. You have to be enjoying what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, it's not worth it.
Right. Well, I'm just thinking that maybe we're going to wrap up soon. I'm wondering if you want to give some final how to get, like, all the steps you mentioned earlier about how to find out more, how to speak to you, how to sign up, how to get the bonus.
Sure. Okay, so to find out more about the program, and if you're ready to sign up for the program and you get all the bonuses along with that, then that is just www.just10weeks.com.
Just10weeks.com. Okay.
And if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me to see if I can support you in some way, or you have questions about how this program can support you and what your big vision is, go to letnicolehelp.com. That's let Nicole, Nicole, help, all one word, .com. And there's a contact page contact form right on the front page.
Great. And do you want to go over one more time the pricing?
Sure. The price is $1,197. Again, I apologize. My nose is so itchy. I'm not really sure why. It's $1,197, and if you put in the coupon code MWH for Michelle White-Hart, then you'll get a $300 discount. So you just hit apply. It'll take $300 off. So your total investment is $897.
That's an incredible deal.
Yeah. And then, of course, you get all the bonuses. And if you need to do a payment plan, that's fine, too. On just10weeks.com, you'll see the full pay option or a link to go to your payment plan options. And there's a few of them.
Fantastic. Any other last words that you'd like to share, Nicole, about?
No, just thank you so much, Michelle. I really, really appreciate this. I know that your time is super valuable. You've got a lot going on, and I just want to honor you and really appreciate you for putting this together so last minute, too, and inviting the community out and giving them an opportunity to ask questions, and also for sharing about what I'm doing. That's really, I'm so grateful for that. Thank you.
Well, you are so welcome. I think that you have so much to offer and so much hope and fun to offer in the entrepreneurial world, and I'm excited for people to learn about you and learn from you, and I've already learned a ton from you, and I look forward to our continued collaboration.
Me too. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, we're going to sign off today. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. It was great having people on. I can see some people. I know I can't see everyone. And I just want to acknowledge you all for showing up. Thank you so much. Bye.